हेलो दोस्तों, दिस इज़ अभिषेक। आज हम इस वीडियो में PLSQL के कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस को देखेंगे जो हमें बहुत हेल्प करेंगे इंटरव्यू को क्रैक करने के लिए। ये क्वेश्चंस ज़्यादातर इंटरव्यू में पूछे जाते हैं, थोड़ा सा घुमा फिरा के पूछे जा सकते हैं, लेकिन कॉन्सेप्ट यही होता है। और मैं सजेस्ट करूँगा जिन टॉपिक से मैं ये क्वेश्चन दे रहा हूँ उन टॉपिक से रिलेटेड और क्वेश्चंस को भी आप पढ़ के जाना इंटरव्यू के लिए। ये आपके लिए बहुत हेल्पफुल होंगे। तो चलिए वीडियो को शुरू करते हैं। First question: what is PLSQL? PLSQL is Oracle Corporation's procedural extension for SQL and the Oracle Relational Database. Second question: what are the basic components of PLSQL? PLSQL consists of block of code which include declarations, executable statements, and exception handlers. Third question: what is a PLSQL block? A PLSQL block is a logical unit that can contain multiple statements. It consists of three parts: declaration, execution, and exception handling. Then fourth question: how do you declare variables in PLSQL? Variables in PLSQL are declared using the declare keyword, as you can see the example. Fifth question: what is the difference between a cursor and a cursor variable? A cursor is a named private SQL area from where information can be retrieved. A cursor variable is a pointer that points to the memory location of the cursor. Then sixth question: explain different types of PLSQL triggers. There are three types of triggers: DML triggers, fired by DML statements like insert, update, and delete. Then system triggers, fired by system events like startup, shutdown. Third, instead of triggers, fired when an attempt to modify a view occurs. Then seventh question: what is an exception in PLSQL? Exceptions are errors that occur during the execution of a PLSQL block. They can be predefined like no data found or user defined. Then eighth question: how do you handle exceptions in PLSQL? Exceptions can be handled using exception block. You can see the example. The ninth question: what is a PLSQL package? A PLSQL package is a collection of related functions, procedures, variables, and other PLSQL constructs. It provides modularity encapsulation, and easy maintenance. 10th question. What is a stored procedure? A stored procedure is a precompiled collection of one or more SQL statements that can be executed as a single unit. Then 11th question. How do you create a stored procedure in PLSQL? You can see the example. Code snippet is given there. Then 12th question. What is a function in PLSQL? A function is a named PLSQL block that can accept parameters and return a value. Then 13th question. How do you create a function in PLSQL? The proper code snippet is given there. You can see that. Using this snippet, you can create a function in PLSQL. Then 14th question. Explain the difference between a function and a procedure. A function returns a value while a procedure does not. Then 15th question. What is a cursor in PLSQL? A cursor is a database object used to retrieve data from a result set one row at a time. Then 16th question. What are triggers in PLSQL? Triggers are stored PLSQL programs that are executed automatically in response to certain events on a table or view. Then 17th question. How do you raise a underdefined exception in PLSQL? Here the code snippet is given. It is used to raise a user-defined exception in PLSQL. Then 18th question. What is the purpose of the commit statement in PLSQL? The commit statement is used to permanently save changes made during the current transaction. Then 19th question. What is the purpose of the rollback statement in PLSQL? The rollback statement is used to undo transactions not saved to the database. Question number 20. How can you handle null values in PLSQL? You can handle null values using the is null or is not null conditions in your PLSQL code. Question number 21. Explain the percent row type attribute in PLSQL. The percentage row type attribute allows you to create a record that has the same structure as a table or cursor's result set. Question number 22. What is the purpose of the bulk collect feature in PLSQL? Bulk collect is used to fetch multiple rows into a collection in a single fetch, reducing context switches between the PLSQL and SQL engines. Question number 23. How do you use cursor in with parameters in PLSQL? You can see the example which is used to use cursor with parameters in PLSQL. Then question number 23, 24th. What is dynamic SQL? In PLSQL, dynamic SQL allows you to construct and execute SQL statements at runtime. Then question number 25. How do you execute dynamic SQL in PLSQL? The example of code snippet is given. You can use this code to execute dynamic SQL in PLSQL. Then question number 26. Explain the for all statement in PLSQL. For all executes the same DML statement on multiple rows in a collection. Then question number 27. What is the purpose of the person type attribute in PLSQL? Person type declares a variable with the same data type as an existing column or variable. Then question number 28. How do you handle exceptions in PLSQL functions? Exceptions are propagated to the calling environment unless handled within the function. Then question number 29. What is a record in PLSQL? A record is a composite data structure that can hold data items of different types, similar to a structure in other programming languages. Then question number 30. How do you use the exception init pragma in PLSQL? The exception init pragma is used to associate an exception name with an Oracle error number. Then question number 31. Explain the continue statement in PLSQL. The continue statement is used to skip the rest of the loop body and proceed to the next iteration of the loop. Then question number 32. What is the purpose of the pragma autonomous transaction in PLSQL? In PLSQL, the pragma autonomous transaction is a compiler directive that allows you to execute an independent transaction within the scope of the calling transaction. By default, PLSQL procedures and functions operate within the context of the transaction that called them. This means that if the calling transaction is rolled back, all changes made within the procedure or functions are also rolled back. Then question number 33. How do you handle deadlock situations in PLSQL? Deadlock situations can be handled by setting appropriate transaction isolation levels, designing the database schema efficiently, and using tools to detect and resolve deadlocks. Then question number 34. Explain the UTL file package in PLSQL. The UTL file package in PLSQL is a utility package provided by Oracle that allows you to read from and write to operating system text files. It provides a set of procedures and functions that enable PLSQL programs to interact with files on the database server's file system. This package is commonly used for tasks such as reading data from external files, writing data to files, and creating log files from PLSQL programs. Then question number 35th. What is the use of the DBMS output package in PLSQL? The DBMS output package in PLSQL is used for displaying output from stored procedures, functions, and anonymous blocks. It provides a way to send messages, debugging information, and output data from PLSQL code. Then question number 36. How do you create an anonymous block in PLSQL? There is an example given. Using this code snippet, you can create an anonymous block in PLSQL. Then question number 37th. What is the use of the DBMS job package in PLSQL? In PLSQL, the DBMS job package is used to manage and schedule jobs in an Oracle database. Jobs are tasks or procedures that need to be executed at specified intervals or at specific times. The DBMS job package allows you to create, manage, and remove these jobs. Then question number 38. Explain the no data found exception in PLSQL. In PLSQL, no data found is one of the predefined exceptions. It is raised when a select into statement returns no rows. This can be happen when you perform a select into, fetch into, or into clause in a PLSQL block and the query does not return any records. Then question number 39th. How do you handle multiple rows in PLSQL statement? Select into statement. You can see the code snippet here, which is used to handle multiple rows in PLSQL select into statement. Then question number 40. How do you pass parameters to a PLSQL procedure? You can pass parameters to a PLSQL procedures using the procedure declaration. As you can see the example,